In this recording, I am going to talk about a of topic of can LLM judge its own response? There are two school of thoughts. Right? One school of thought or one perspective is if you generate a response using one LLM, you need to review it, evaluate it by another large language model. The other school of thought is that LLMs can evaluate their own response. Right? Like humans, right? It's very difficult to find our own mistake, right? We sometimes don't agree to our mistake, but the other school of thought says that LLMs can is capable of evaluating its own response. I kind of uh, I align to the school of thought where um, where we say that that LLM can evaluate its own response, right? And the reason behind that, and I'll also show an example through a code. The reason behind my belief, and it's like as I say, there are multiple perspectives that is coming up because this area is very new. It's evolving very rapidly. But the reason for my perspective is because of a technique called reflection. So reflection is a prompting technique through which LLMs can self-evaluate, or it can validate its response. It can self-critique it and identify if there are any inefficiencies or inconsistencies in their previous response, right? And while evaluating it through this reflection, through this react type of like reasoning and action type of techniques, it can also provide reasons why its past response is not accurate or not inconsistent, right? And that is the reason behind my belief that we can use the same LLM which is providing the response to evaluate that response also. Now, as I said, this area is evolving. There are two school of thoughts. One school of thought believes that no, we should use a separate LLM. But my idea of doing this recording is to um, see if there are more perspectives or more evidences which support one or the other perspective, right? Today, I'm going to show you through a code, right? The reason behind my belief of this reflection, right? So let me go to my Python PyCharm, right? So here what I have done is I took a source. So let me go here, right? This is my source content where I describe what Taj Mahal is, right? And then I written two function. One function creates the summary of the source content, and within this same function, I call a model guided scoring summary technique to get the score of the summary. Now, while creating the summary, I compel the LLM to uh, miss some information in the summary by uh, putting max token as 50, right? And the summary scoring I am doing using this prompt that I took from TrueLens, which is you are tasked with evaluating summarization quality. Please follow the instructions below. Identify the key points in the provided source text and assign the high or low importance level. Assess how well the summary captures these key points. Are the key points from the source text comprehensively included in the summary? More important, key points matter more in the evaluation. More important key points matter more in the evaluation. Scoring criteria. You scored 0 if it captures no key points with high importance level, 5 if it captures 70% of key points with high importance level, 10 capturing all key points of high importance level. Answer using the template below. This is where I give it a template of how it should answer me. So it should give me the score. It should also give me the criteria of so mention key points for the source text that should be included in the summary. So the criteria is like it will mention the key points that should be included and the supporting evidence. So if it is giving it a score, why it gave it a score of 5 or 10, right? Which key points are present and which key points are absent in the memory. That would be the supporting evidence to say that, okay, the summarization is poor quality, like it is score 5 because it misses something. This is the prompt that I'm giving to the scoring function. And in both cases, I am using, okay, so let me put the model GPT-4 in both cases. So this is the GPT-4 is what I'm using to generate the response. GPT-4 is what I'm using to score the, sorry, this is, I think is the scoring one, right? So I think I made one mistake, which is I should say scorer LLM, which I'm very particular about naming variables so that people can looking at code, they can understand what it is doing, right? So this is a scorer LLM, which is using GPT-4. And here it is creating the summary. For the summary, this is the prompt, create a summary based on the provided source. And here I have the LLM as, I just named it LLM. I can also say summary LLM. I am passing the model works temperature is 0.3, max token is 50. I need to make change here as well, right? So one GPT-4 is doing summarization here. Then it is calling the score summary, where again GPT-4 is being used using this prompt, right, which we went through to score it. Let's see what it does. And as I told that I made the model to miss some points in summary by restricting the number of tokens it can generate. Right? So let's see. Let me run it. So now after it runs, it's taking some time. Yeah, it is done now, right? It got a score of 2. This is the key points from the source text that should be included in the summary. So see, GPT-4 created this response. Now it is telling that in my response, I'm evaluated the response and the key points from the source text that should be included in the summary are that Taj Mahal is an ivory white marble mausoleum in Agra, India, commissioned by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in 1631. It houses the tomb of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So it is saying that these key points are not mentioned, and then it is giving the supporting evidence. It says the summary includes the key points about Taj Mahal being an ivory white marble mausoleum in Agra, and that it was commissioned by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in 1631, right? So he said this is the criteria it looked for, right? And this criteria is there. However, it fails to include any other key points such as it housing the tombs of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan, its architecture, its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its importance as a tourist attraction. It is saying that it misses all these points in the summary. That's why it gave a score of true. And the criteria that it used, these are the key points that it looked for in the summary to score it, right? So it generated its response and it found mistakes in its response also. That is the reason. And then because of that reflection, it's able to do, right? And that is the reason behind my perspective on this is that I can use the same LLM which generated the response to evaluate its response as well. That's all for this recording. Thank you.